so was surprised to find a witch there who'd set up a sort of improvised research site. She was studying something so intently that she almost didn't notice me. When she looked up, I thought she would react with fear or disdain. But instead she did something that I will never forget. Without a moment's hesitation, she smiled and asked me to sit with her. She told me that she was a researcher and showed me a small, oddly shaped container with a strange symbol on it. She was certain it was made of goblin metal, but was unable to open it. She wanted to work together.
Miriam.
Yes. But how did you...
Professor Fig's wife. He told me of her research, and I know of the container.
The reverence with which she talked of goblins and their intelligence and skill, it caught me entirely off guard. I'd never been treated with such respect by a witch or wizard. So, to my surprise, I let her study the container if she would allow me to search the castle on my own. We parted ways, with her promising to share what she'd learned. More of Ranrock's recruits arrived, and we began to dig, eventually locating the first repository. Ranrock was thrilled with our discovery, but furious when I told him about Miriam. Berated me for trusting a witch, and I heard she'd been killed.
You think Ranrock murdered her?
I don't want to believe it, but I don't know. After that, something shifted in me. I had seen how the power from the repositories was transforming Ranrock, transforming all of them. I could no longer remain a part of it.
Thank you, Lodgok, for telling me this.
I tell you all of this so that you understand what is at stake. Ranrock never found all of Bragbor's journals, but the ones he did find suggest that Bragbor at some point built a repository far greater in size than the one beneath Rookwood Castle. What you've discovered here today worries me deeply. If Ranrock learns of the location of that repository, I fear we shall be destined for a great war. I will find out what Ranrock knows. Watch for my owl.
There's no telling what lies in wait for me in there.
You're here. Good.
Sebastian, that relic you mentioned,
I believe one of Slytherin's students stumbled upon the relic during an assignment to study sarcophagi in this catacomb. From what I read in a report by the student, they weren't permitted to take it with them, so I must assume it's still here. As I mentioned earlier, this relic grants its holder the power to reverse dark magic curses. If it's in this catacomb, I have to find it. For Anne. I need to see her.
I'd be interested to know what else the student discovered.
Have a look. Unfortunately, there's no name on it, but I suspect if it was important enough for Slytherin to stash in his spellbook, it's worthy of further study.
I'm ready to explore the catacomb. Perhaps we can visit Anne when we've finished.
Perfect. By the way, Ominous has been asking about you. You didn't tell him what we were doing, did you?
I didn't. I promise.
Good. Ominous would be livid if he knew what we were about to do. I'll be interested to compare what lies inside to what I've read about this catacomb. I'm sure that foul smell is the scent of success. Try not to lose your nerve just yet.
Lumos!
Lumos! Bombada! Defender! Protego!
Expelliarmus!
Confringo!
Stupefy! At least now we know we're not alone in here.
Perhaps that was it. And the rest of the tomb will be insect-free.
Yeah, spiders aren't insects.
Don't start.
Opening all of these is...
This room is taller than it looks. We're here for a reason. I'd say opening them all is justified.
Revelio! Wingardium Leviosa.
Finding a chest in an inconspicuous loft. Brilliant.
Lumos. Confringo. Sendo. Expelliarmus. Bombarda. Protego. Stupefy. Confringo. Stupefy. Bombarda. Expelliarmus. Confringo! Accio! Lumos.
Lumos. Now this is the sort of great room I want to be buried in.
Surrounded by grandeur.
Grandeur and then some. Even an altar with a pile of bones. Lovely.
Bones outside a sarcophagus. Seems odd. There's something here by the altar.
What did you find?
Looks like part of a student's diary. It mentions plans to return for the relic and conjuring barricades using bones.
Of course. The student's summary referenced a space beyond the Great Room, which means this can't be a dead end. Let's divide and conquer. You work on sorting out the bone barricades. I'll look around and see what we missed. Hold on to that diary entry. There may be more to it.
It does mention something else. It says their next assignment was learning the Imperius Curse.
Really? Interesting. We need to focus on moving beyond this room. But let me think for a moment.
Do you think the pages were left here on purpose?
Slytherin mentioned a student who excelled in charms and always carried a satchel stuffed full of notes. They might have been left on purpose, or the student may have simply dropped them.
Of course. I'll start to search for those barricades.
Brilliant. There's more to this than even I imagined. Look, bones stacked oddly on either side of this archway.
Leave no stone unturned. Or in this case, no bone.
If this archway's been barricaded, we can find a way through. Accio!
Confringo! Bombarda! Expelliarmus! Defender! Accio!
The student mentioned bones as the key. Therefore, bone piles must be what we need.
Wingardium Leviosa!
The student mentioned bones as the key. Therefore,
Confringo!
bones must be what we need. Did you hear that?
We're in a tomb. I assume eerie sounds come with the territory.
Accio!
Wingardium Leviosa! Revelio!
The student mentioned bones as the key. Therefore, bone piles must be what we need.
Wingardium Leviosa!
That's a lot of bone rattle. You've done it! I knew we'd get through. I felt it in my bones.
Nice. Revelio! Accio! Revelio. Accio. Revelio. We've made it this far, but clearly we have more to do. Accio! I need to find a safe way across. Wingardium Leviosa. Confringo. Accio. Perhaps moving piles of bones towards the center will help. Descendo. Cabolso. Confringo. Expelliarmus. Bombarda. Defendo. Revelio. I believe I need to use Accio on the pile of bones. Accio. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Wingardium Leviosa. Reparo. Confringo. Accio. Wingardium. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Wingardium Leviosa. Accio. Flipendo. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Wingardium Leviosa. Rickety Bone Bridge complete. Revelio. Accio.
Before we trudge on further, I've just realized something. The student's diary mentions the Imperious Curse. I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to need it here. It's an unforgivable, but useful when you're outnumbered. Places the victim completely under the caster's control. So, if you'd like to learn Imperio, I can teach you.
Where did you learn the Imperious Curse?
I taught myself. Don't tell Ominous that I've told you. It's not exactly something I can brag about, but it may come in handy. I think you ought to know it.
It's probably wise to know the spell.
I couldn't agree more. A spell that could save your life shouldn't be unforgivable. You have a lot at stake. You have an ability that evidently no one's seen for centuries. Focus your wand movement. It's not an easy spell to master. There we go. Something troubling ahead. Be on your...
Confringo! Bombarda!
Another barricade. Considering how well you did on the last one, this should be a cinch.
How gracious of you.
Accio! I tried. That worked. Keep going.
Confringo! Bombarda! Accio! Wingardium Leviosa. Wingardium Leviosa. Revelio. Accio.
This looks different than what we faced before. Now we're also dealing with rune symbols.
Wingardium Leviosa. Wingardium Leviosa.
You are head and shoulders above these bones. Nicely done. I see why Slytherin's student was so entranced with this place.